This is Shalaya with Scott Leroy Marketing. In today's class, we are going to be covering what to do before migrating to the new KW website platform. So in this class, we will be going over all of the things that you need to know before you launch your new command website. So for those of you who have already launched your sites, most of this class will be preemptive. However, next week's class, we will be diving into the new site and going over the options that we have over there. So right now we will go ahead and take a look at some aspects of the new command site after we go over how to preserve your legacy content. Also keep in mind that once you do launch your new site, there is not an option to revert back to the original site. So a few things that we will be touching on today prior to launching is that you will no longer have access to landing pages. So you won't be able to make any edits or changes or any custom pages that you might have. You will want to go ahead and save those details, as none of that is going to transfer over once you launch your new site. We are hopeful that custom content will be coming available with the new site soon. We just do not have a timeline on that just yet. So to get started, we'll go ahead and log in the command here. So you'll want to go to agent.kw.com. Always remember that your username is not case sensitive. However, your password is. So if you do have any trouble logging into command, you can click on this little eyeball icon here, and that will give you a preview of your password to be sure that it is typed in correctly there. So once we log into command, the first thing we're going to do is we want to make sure that our marketing profile is completely up to date. So the marketing profile is going to feed to the new website 100%. So what that means is you're no longer going to need to make manual edits to the website when you update your headshot or your bio or any other information. So you always want to make sure that your marketing profile is up to date and in good standing. So to get to our marketing profile, we're going to click on our name in the top right corner, and we're going to go down to settings. So from here on the left-hand side, we're going to go under connect settings and then our marketing profile here. So we'll just do a quick overview of this, just any information that you might need to update or make any changes to. So starting at the top here, in the top right corner, you want to always make sure that this is toggled green. So what this means is that this is feeding your profile information to your website and your marketing. So if this was toggled off, none of your marketing would be branded to you. So always make sure that is green there. Next, we have our headshot photo and our team logo. So for your headshot photo, you do always want to be sure that is cropped down to a square. If it looks distorted in that circle there, that is how it will look on your marketing. So if you need any assistance updating that, you can always send us an email and we can help you with updating your headshot photo. For the team logo, if you are not on a team and you don't have a team logo to put in there, we do recommend at least throwing in a generic KW logo or realtor logo, kind of like you see here, just as a placeholder, because some of your marketing materials will automatically pull that logo in. So some items might show that as a broken image link if you don't have something uploaded there. Next, we have our details. So your name, we do recommend being sure that that reflects your name on your license to make sure you are following compliance. And then we have our license number, our team name if we're on a team, your job title, if you have a personal slogan that you use for your business. We have our designations and credentials here. Below that, we have our military affiliations. So if you are affiliated with the military, you can add that into your marketing profile. So you will simply select your affiliation here from this list. And then once you select your affiliation, it's going to give you another drop-down menu here to select the branch that you are affiliated with. When you select this, be sure you click on the Add button all the way to the right to make sure that saves. Otherwise, even though you will save your profile, it will not save those changes. You do have to click that Add button to save that. Next, we have our bio. So however your bio looks in this box is how it's going to show up on your website and marketing. So if you have any line breaks in between your paragraphs or anything like that, this is where you want to be sure that reflects how you want it to look. Next, we have our contact information here. So your phone numbers, your personal number, and your office phone number. If by chance you are in another country, you can change the country code by clicking the drop down here. You have your email and website. So for your email, in most cases, you will see your KW email here. However, if you do have another email that you use for your business, you can use that there. And then for your website, this will most likely be your command website URL unless you are utilizing a custom domain. When using the command websites, you do want to be sure you are not adding www in front of the domain, as the KW sites are not compatible with that formatting. Below that, we have our Market Center information. So we have our Market Center logo along with our Market Center address and contact information. This is where you always want to be sure your profile is reflecting the correct information to make sure that you are following compliance. So if you have transferred market centers or your market center has moved locations, anything like that, you always want to make sure you are keeping this information up to date. For the market center logo, you will see that it is distorted in this circle. However, unlike the headshot photo, the logos will automatically correct themselves. So even though it looks like this, it will look normal on your marketing. Below that, we have our compliance items. So you have your legal footer text. So if you have any legal text that is required by your market center, you can add that in here. Although you can see that each office is independently owned and operated is typed in here, this is actually not required in this box because that verbiage is automatically on your marketing already. So if you were to type that in this box, it will show up on your marketing twice. Below that, you have the option to add legal footer links. So this is where you can add any links that are required for compliance. So for example, Texas agents have their commission information forms that they have to have on their marketing. And New York agents have their standard operating procedures that they have to have. So this is where you can add those links there. So you can simply click on the Add Link button, and then you will enter the link title and the URL to your link. And then to delete that, you can simply click on the red trash can icon all the way to the right here. Just checking the chat box here. So the site to access command is agent.kw.com, and I just dropped that in the chat box for you. Below that, we have our legal footer images. So these images are very small, they're thumbnail size. You can see in the description that they are 128 by 48 pixels, so they're not very big. You can use these for any required designation logos or any other logos you might want to add, whether it be vendor logos, but just remember they are very small, so you won't be able to see those very well. Next, we have the option to add our social media links here. So if you have your business pages set up for your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, or if you have a YouTube channel, as well as your LinkedIn profile, all of those URLs can be linked to your marketing profile to be added to your website. And then below that, you will see Google Analytics ID. However, this part is now irrelevant because Google Analytics has now moved into the new Command website platform, which we will touch on that on our class next week. So once you have finished updating your profile, you can go ahead and click on the Save button down at the bottom. And that's going to refresh the page here. And it's going to let you know that your marketing profile was successfully saved. Just checking the chat box here. If you have trouble updating your photo or your bio or any other information, you can always send us that in an email and we would be happy to go in and update that for you. And I'll drop our email here again as well. So now that we've covered our marketing profile, we can go ahead and jump into how to preserve our landing pages and custom page content. So we're going to go ahead and go to our consumer tab. So our consumer tab is the last icon at the bottom here. If you are still getting familiar with these icons, if you click on the red KW in the top left corner, that's going to bring out a description for each icon here. So we're going to go ahead and jump into consumer, which is going to be the back end of our website. So now that we are in our consumer section, we're going to go ahead and jump right over to our landing pages. So we're going to go right up here to the top and click landing pages here. So before you save your landing pages, you do want to make sure you go ahead and disable or delete any landing pages that you no longer have a use for. So disable these, you have a couple options. So on the left side under status, you can toggle this off and it's going to ask you if you want to switch this to an active. So we'll say yes. Or another option is we can go all the way to the right side and click on the three dots here. And we can go down and select deactivate. And that's going to give you the same confirmation message here asking if you want to make this page inactive. So those are two different ways that you can deactivate your pages. So we'll go ahead and reactivate these for now. A few other options you have over here is you have the option to edit your landing page. You can change the URL to your landing page, or you can also remove the custom URL, or you can delete the page completely. So keep in mind that any compliance updates to landing pages will not be accessible once you launch the new KW site. So you do want to make sure you make any changes to these sites before you switch over, because once you launch that new website, you do not have an option to go back and access these. So once you have made any changes or activated or deactivated the pages that you need, we can go ahead and preserve these by copying them to a Google Doc. So to do this, we are simply going to start at the top one and click and drag our mouse until we highlight all of our landing pages here. And then we'll just simply hover over and then right click and copy. And then we're going to go into Google Docs. So I already have one open here. So I've already named this as website content up here. So we're going to simply go in here and right click and paste this into here. So that saves your landing page title, the URL to your landing page, as well as the date that your landing page was created. So that's going to keep all that information for you. That way you can still access those pages, even though you will no longer be able to make any changes to them. I'm just looking at the chat box quick. So Kathy, yes, landing pages are going away once you launch the new KW site. So today's class is just going over everything that you can preserve before switching over to the new site platform. Monique, if you are not seeing landing pages within your platform, most likely you have already launched your new KW site, so you will not have access to these. So once we add our items to our Google Doc, you do want to be sure that you are saving these Google Docs to your favorites or saving them somewhere that you can easily find them again. That way, when you need to find this information, they are easy to access. You will, however, have access to a new replacement option for open house sign-in pages within the new KW sites. These pages will be listing specific and cannot be customized. And I'll actually show you what those look like once we are finished going over how to preserve our content here. Nicole, yes. So you will not have access to landing pages. However, you do still have access to an open house sign-in sheet. So I will go over that shortly. Yes, so you won't have access to the landing pages or any access to edit them. However, if you do preserve the URLs like you see here within this Google Doc, these URLs will stay active so you can still view and access the page. You just won't be able to access the back end of it to make any edits or changes or delete them. So if anything will cause any compliance issues, you do want to make sure that you deactivate those before you switch over. So now that we've gone through our landing pages, we're going to jump into saving our website content. So I'm going to jump back over to my command tab here. And we're going to go back over to agent site pages. So the first thing we'll go over saving is our hero images. So if by any chance you've uploaded any custom hero images for your site, I'm going to go over how to save those prior to switching over, because you will be able to upload those custom hero images on the new KW site. So to find our hero images, we will go to the top right of the page and go into Site and App Settings here. So you'll be able to find your hero images on this first page here. So if you have uploaded any custom images, you should be able to locate those here in this spot in the middle here. So to save these images, you will simply just hover your mouse over the image and then right click and save image as. And that will allow you to save your custom hero images here. Once you do that, it is going to prompt you where you want to save those. So if you have a specific folder you want to save those in so you can easily find them later, or you can even save them to your desktop or whatever's easiest for you, just be sure you're selecting that when you're saving your image. So once we save our hero images, we're going to go ahead and go over saving any custom content that you may have on your site. So we're going to jump back over to agent site pages. So we're going to go to the top left here. So we're going to jump right into our school search page first. So if you have this page on your site, most likely we set it up for you. So we're going to go over how to save that. So what we want to do is find our school search page, which it's at the top of our list here. And we're going to go all the way to the right side and click on the three dots over here. And then we are going to click on edit. So once this opens up here, we're going to click on configure widgets in the bottom right corner. And then we're going to go up and click on agent profile. So the only thing that we need to save here is the text that is in the agent bio box. So the page title, the role and company box, we don't need to save any of that. We just want to be sure that we save this widget code here. So to make it easier, you can make this text box bigger by clicking on the right corner of the box and dragging it down. So we can start by clicking on the very start of this text here, and then we're going to click and drag our mouse to highlight all of this text. So once this is all highlighted, we'll go ahead and hover over it and then right click and copy. And then we're going to go over to our Google Doc here. So when you're saving this information, you have a couple different options here. So you can save everything into one Google Doc file, or you can create separate doc files for each item that you're saving. So if you prefer to have separate files for each item, we can simply go up to the top left corner and click on File and New, and open up a new document. So once that opens here, we can go to the top left and rename this. So this is our school search. And then just like our landing pages, we're going to come in here and we're going to right click and paste that in here. So this will be our widget code for our school search page. So now that we have that saved, we're going to go back over to command here. And now we're going to jump into how to save custom content. So we're going to go back out of this page here. It's going to ask if we want to save changes. And we didn't really make any changes that we need to save. So I'm going to click on no here. So for our custom page, we are going to use our sold properties page. So saving custom content is going to be a little bit different from the school search page, because rather than saving the widget code, we want to save our page content. So instead of going under edit, we're actually going to save this from the live website view. So if we go over to the page we want to open, we're going to click on this teal eyeball icon here, and that's going to open our page up. So here we have our custom content page. So just like everything else, we're simply going to click and highlight all the content that we want to save. And once all the information is highlighted, we're going to simply hover over and then right click and copy. And then once again, we're going to save this to our Google Docs. So again, you can save everything into one document, or you can create separate documents for each item, whatever works best for you when you are saving these. I'm going to go ahead and create another new document here. And this one is going to be sold properties. And then just like the others, we're going to go ahead and right click and paste here. So by copying this from the live page, this saves the formatting that the page was in. So if we were to go in and copy this from the edit side, it might make the formatting show up incorrectly, and you won't be able to save it from there. So that is why we recommend saving this information from the live site. So now that we've gone over how to preserve our custom content and our landing pages, we can go ahead and jump over to the new KW site and kind of take a look at what some items over there look like. So I already have ours up here. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. So once you launch your new command site, this is what your new consumer tab is going to look like. And I'll kind of go back and show you the comparison here. So this is what our original consumer tab looked like. And then here is what our new consumer tab looks like. So right from the first page here, we have the option to make changes to our domain if we want to. We have our app URL here. And then we have our options for our KW app, for your Keller Home, Keller Covered. And then we have our registration limits if you do want to set those forced registration limits for your new site. Like anything else, whenever you make changes to any of these sections, always make sure you click on the Save Changes button. Otherwise, these will not save automatically. So to get to our new site, we're going to go ahead and click on the Edit My Website button here. And this is going to take us to the back end of our new command site. So we're just going to go over a couple things today. And then in our class next week, we will go into this website in more depth and go over each of the pages and all the content that you can currently customize and make your own. So right now we'll just cover a couple things. So I will show you how you can add those hero images that you saved. And I will show you how to access the new open house sign-in sheets. And we will cover those, and then everything else we will cover next week. So to get to our hero images, here under the Edit Your Website section, we're going to go under the home page, which is the middle one right here. So I'm going to click into this. And then we're going to start under section 1 here. Now these titles might look different on your site than they do on ours, because these titles can be completely customized to each website. So if you have already launched your new site and these titles don't look the same on your end, don't stress about that because they are different for each agent. So we'll go ahead and click this drop down. And so here is where our hero images are hosted. So to add our custom images, we will simply click on the Add Image button here. And then this little box is going to pop up. So when we click on this box, we're going to get this pop-up. So this is where we can upload our new images. So those custom images that we saved from our previous site, we can go ahead and upload those here. So in this pop-up box in the bottom left corner, there is a new image button. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. Yes, Monique, I can start fresh here just to cover that again for you. So once you go into your homepage option, we are going to go under section 1 here. And then under section 1 is where our hero images are. Now, if you've just recently launched your new site, we already have some custom images here, so you're not going to see these here. So that may be why it looks a little different as well. So when you first launch your site, you automatically start with these default images. And what's good about this is these default images stay saved in here in the background. So if you ever delete your custom images, it will automatically default back to these original ones. That way you don't have a blank space there for your hero images. So to add your new images, you will click on the Add Image button. And then we're going to click in that box. And that will give us that pop-up box here. So once this pops up, we're going to click New Image in the bottom left. And then this is where we can upload our hero images. So you can add a name for the image for your records if you'd like to. However, it's not required. And then we have our file upload. So we can upload our file by clicking the Choose button here. And then we will simply locate our hero image that we just saved from our original site. And we are going to click on Open. And that's going to upload our hero image here. So once your image is added, be sure that you click on Save in the top right. And that's going to give you a green banner letting you that that was successfully saved. So then we can click on the back button in the top left, and that's going to take us back to our edit portion where we just were. And then this will upload our new hero image here. So we've got our image here, so we can simply click on it and it adds that in for us over here. So once you upload your custom hero images in here, you do want to make sure that you click on Save in the top right corner to save your changes. And you'll also see on the right side that it does keep track of all the revisions that you make within your site. So it tracks everything that you are doing within here. And then in the center, you have your preview of your site here. So now that we've gone over our hero images, one more thing that I will touch on before we jump into the open house sign-in sheet is going to be testimonials. So with the new KW site, your testimonials are now going to be featured on your homepage. So if we scroll down in this preview here in the center, you'll see below featured listings, we have featured testimonials. So we're going to go under featured testimonials on the left side here. We'll click on this drop down. So this is where we can add our testimonials in. So if you remember from the original KW sites, you were only able to feature up to 12 testimonials. With the new sites, you now have the option to feature up to 20 testimonials. So you have a lot more options here. Now, to add testimonials, you do want to make note that your original testimonials from your original KW site are not going to automatically feed over to your new site. So those will be stored in your consumer tab as your legacy testimonials. However, if you want to add those to your new site, you will need to add those in manually. So if you are having any trouble locating those, so if you are in your consumer tab in Command, once you've switched over to the new site, at the top, you will see that we have an option for testimonials here. So if we click over to testimonials, this is where all of your legacy testimonials will be housed. So if you want to manually add these to your new site, you can simply go into your consumer tab and then copy and paste this information as a new testimonial on your new site. If you do have any that are longer than preview, like this one here, if you click on the three dots all the way to the right side of the page, we have the option to view the full review. So that's going to bring up the entire testimonial here, along with your star rating, the client sent date, as well as the date that the testimonial was submitted and the client's name. So all of your legacy testimonials will be there where you can find them. Just keep in mind that they are not going to carry over automatically for you. To add testimonials to your new site, we have this little plus icon here. So if we click on this, we're going to get a list that pops up. So any of these listed here are either testimonials that were captured on the new KW site or testimonials that were added manually. So if you have captured any testimonials on your site, this is where you can find those and add them to your new site. If you are looking to manually add old testimonials to your site, you can click on the Create New button in the top. And that's going to bring you to a form to create your testimonial. So you have the option to select your star rating here, your testimonial. So if we were to copy that legacy one over, so we could simply go in here and highlight this testimonial information and then right click and copy that. And then we can go back to our form here. And then under testimonial, we can right click and paste to add that information in. And then below that, we have the client's name, first name and last name, and then the client sent date. So those first items are the main required items to submit a testimonial manually. The rest of this information, as far as the location and all of this, is not required. Just from the top down to the client sent date is required to submit this. So once you fill in this information, be sure that you click on the publish button in the top right corner. And then just like our hero images, it will give you a little green banner letting you know that it was saved. And then we can click on the back button in the top left. And then once you add that in, it will be added to this list here so that you can feature these on your site. So right from here, we will go over how to access the new open house sign-in sheet. So I'm going to click out of this, and because I didn't save any changes here, it's just letting me know, hey, are you sure you want to leave? You didn't save any changes you entered. So I'm going to go ahead and leave page. And what's good about that is if you do make any changes to your site and you don't save your changes, if you go back into that page that you were editing, you'll see this yellow banner at the top that it restored your work in progress. So it will not clear out any changes that you made when you close out of the window. So if you edit anything or add anything and you forget to hit that save button and you close out of it, you don't have to worry about losing that progress because it does save it in here unless you click on this clear changes button. Wesley, for listings, you do still have the option for featured listings, and it's actually a little more advanced than the original site was. And we'll cover that in next week's class when we dive into the new website in more depth. As far as sold listings, there is not currently an option to add custom content to the new sites. However, we are hopeful that that is coming soon. Monique, if you're having any issues adding your hero images or locating your hero images, you can send us an email and we would be happy to jump in and take a look at that for you. So to access the new open house sign-in sheet, we're going to go to our live site by clicking our link here. So to generate an open house sheet, you first want to go to the listing that you want that open house sheet to be connected to. So I'm just going to click on a random listing here. However, you can also search for the listing in this search box here. So once we have our listing page pulled up, so just like the original site, this pulls in all the information from the MLS listing. So you have your MLS pictures, all of your listing details here. So that all works the same way. It just looks a little bit cleaner. So now to generate our open house sheet, we're going to go to our search bar here and we are going to dash open house. So you're pretty much going to go to the very end of the URL for the listing. You're going to add a / and you're going to type open house. You're not going to include any spaces or dashes or anything like that. And we're going to go ahead and hit enter. And then once this loads, it's going to load up to our open house sign-in sheet. Michelle, this class is recorded. We do try to have these uploaded to our YouTube channel within 24 hours. So I'll go ahead and drop a link to that here for you. So here is our open house sign-in sheet for our listing here. So you'll see it captures the client's first name, last name, their email address, and their phone number. And then there is also a checkbox here, which is their way of opting in to be contacted by you, whether through email, text message, anything like that. So that is required for them to submit the form. And then once they click on submit, it's going to bring up your contact information as well as a QR code that they can scan to bring them to the listing information. And then once you capture their information, there will be a back to sign in button. That way you can capture the next client's information. So I'll go ahead and see if this will let me submit here. We'll see if this will take with a fake phone number here. Okay. Let me just grab a number that we can enter in here. So once they enter their information, this is what they're going to see. So they're going to get a glimpse of your agent profile with your contact information and your bio. And then they will have this QR code to access the listing information that they can scan. So then once you have finished capturing that client's information, so you'll see on the top left that back to sign in button here. So that's going to take you back and refresh your sign-in sheet. That way you can capture the next client's information. So you can have this up on your device, whether you're using a laptop, a tablet, or even your mobile device. You can keep it up during the whole open house and utilize this for every client that walks in. So that's a really nice feature there that they came up with. So that about covers everything within the what to do before migrating, as well as a few items within the new site for this week. Next week, we will cover in more depth everything within the new KW agent site. A couple things I will show you before we jump off here. So we do have a agent resources page on our website. So this page completely goes over everything going on with the new agent sites, as well as our training calendar. So you can access our full training calendar here. And then you can also access our YouTube playlist that has all of our tip videos and trainings on the new KW agent sites. And then down below that, we have a few of those videos linked here for easy access, just to help you get started before you launch your new site. And then down below that, we also have some links to the new KWRI articles that goes over aspects of the new agent site as well. So this is a great resource if you are looking for more information on the new agent sites here. And I'll go ahead and drop this in the chat box for you. If you have any trouble accessing this site, you do want to make sure that you are signing in with your Market Center number. If you're having any trouble with that, you can shoot us an email and we would be happy to help with access to that for you. And then you can also access the KWRI articles here. So I'll go ahead and drop this here for you as well. So again, be sure to join us next Tuesday to go over the new KW sites and all of the things that we can customize and change and what that new site looks like. If we didn't get a chance to answer anything today for you, or you run into any trouble, you can always reach out to us anytime through email at support@scottlibrarymarketing.com. And I'll drop that here again for you. Thank you all for jumping on today, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week.